Shout out to you guys. We're live. Shout out to the numbers we're doing right now. We got the good 10 in the building. You know, I got to say one thing. What a time to be alive that I can actually do YouTube and the haters are gone. And we're starting from scratch and we're going to run it up by giving people quality entertainment, information, principles of life that will get you where most of us want to be. Instead of being miserable and unhappy, you're going to be feeling a lot of love and support, and you just see me doing dope ish. Shout out to Nab in the building. Appreciate that compliment. Shout out to Corey in the building. So I'm gonna get straight to it and tell y'all that little story of my life. I told y'all last week when I came on. It's crazy. I actually found this picture of me and my son from California. I looked real healthy. You see this picture? I looked healthier. I was on point. You know why? Because I was making so much paper. Remember my chain that I had? I don't know what happened to that chain. Remember that chain? That's when I was at my best. I re-upped my best. I got to get a picture of me and my daughter printed out so I can put a big poster on the wall with her and me, and then a big poster of my son, and then that's gonna be the background. But let me break this down to you guys. Judged by 12, that was kind of funny. So I told y'all last week that I'm honest with y'all. I was getting my head cracked because of negativity. So I was down to pretty much like pennies. Of course, pay all my bills and stuff. But like, I got when I pay all my bills, I got to now make another 2,500 for the next month. And now that we don't have a traditional job, we're doing betting for a living. YouTube and all that stuff, just extra little paper. I was down to $29. By the way, let me know if the mic sounds good. We're using a real mic tonight. We're using a real mic tonight. We're going to be on here, guys, until 9 o'clock. And then I have to go to my game. And then tomorrow we're going to be back with the mic cooking up some good content. Trust me, it's going to be some good content. Shout out to Good Riddance in the building. But back to the point, I told y'all that, negativity was cooking me. I'm just getting my head cracked because they got all this negativity going on. And I'm like, bruh, what are we doing? Appreciate that now. I'm like, what are we doing? Why does it have to be so negative? Found these AirPods. I gotta get a case for it so I can see if I can use them. They're like brand new. I just lost the case for them. But yeah, we have had all the negativity happening, and it got to the point that I said to myself, maybe the betting isn't for me because I go manic and I lose it all. But then, as I said that, I said no, because it was crazy. I rounded up like $29. That's all I had. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That's all I had. I paid all my bills. All I had left was $29 after paying the trainer, paying everything I need to pay. $29. And I actually sent it to my friend and I said, bro, all I got is $29 and I'm going to turn this into $3,000 by Monday. And I proceeded to, and I'm once again being honest with y'all, I could lie and just act like I had money. And I didn't have no money, I had $29. I proceeded to turn that $29. Nobody gave me a bankroll. Nobody gave me, money to bet with. Turned $29 into now $2,000. Let me show y'all the biggest play that I've had in about 2 months. This was probably the luckiest and the biggest, best play that I had in like 2 months. So I originally took this game right here for this team to go over. I mean, to win by 31 points. You see that? For this team to win by 31 points, I took that 31 points. Okay. 295 to win 246. Then what happened was I'm like, okay, I got to hedge. That's what I do. I hedge because I'm not going to risk losing the original bet. I'd rather just live to fight another day. So I hedged, as you can see right here. I hedged. Y'all see that? Y'all can see that. I hedged. And that was a, $370 to win 317 hedge. So overall, I won 317 plus the original 247. So that was $563 roughly. I'm like, bruh, I'm just that good. I'm just that good. Now my balance is sitting at I put a WNBA game, put a WNBA game on um, that I got going on for 100, but my balance is now sitting at um, 1385, 1385, and I have pending wagers, so pretty much $2,000 I'm at. And keep in mind, I took out about $400. So in reality, I turned to $29 into like $2,300 because as we got, and I did it in like 2.5 days. So at this point, I decided that I'm going to, um, what's crazy? What started this growth, this greatness was me um, deciding to just do it. No more talk, just doing it. So I decided to just do it. If you don't support me and my wagering, then just go away and out of my life. I don't want to deal with you. That goes for anybody in my life. Everybody in my life. Some people don't know, but it's nothing they can say. Some people don't know, but for the most part, every single person um, is okay with the way I'm earning my money. Because if they're not going to be involved in my life. I'm not going and turning back. I'm going to do what I did in Las Vegas, those going on 5 years, which is make $100,000 a year. Already this year, I already exceeded this year in what 7 months, 6 months, 6.5 months. I've already exceeded $30,000 in revenue. It only goes up from here because I didn't have any of the I didn't have any of the leagues to bet on because all the leagues shut down. All I had to bet on was WNBA. Now you have FIBA basketball, which is killing it for me right now. FIBA basketball, and then I got to keep an eye on this Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's up 12 points. Who knows if they're going to keep the lead? But I got to put some action on that. Got to put some action on that just because even though Puerto Rico is like treading to not win, usually you don't want to go with a team that's highly favored now, but they were underdogs because they get cold. But I'm going to go with that because of the way today's been going. But yeah, you have summer league right now that I'm crushing, and you have summer league, and then you have just international. I make my money off of the last two. I make my money off the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the game. Free lunch, I don't have a clue. I'm not even gonna guess. I'm not gonna guess. Maybe go use Poly Market. You can guess and make money doing it. Now, once again, I blocked all the haters. And I don't think I'm gonna let them come back because I think I'd rather just have a dry chat for the next 2 weeks than have a chat that's just hate. That's gonna frustrate me somewhat. So we're gonna keep it like this. Now, with that said, I will tell everybody that watches and going to watch this video, this stream, to ultimately do what you want to do with your life. Don't allow anybody to tell you this is what you should do based off what they want out of their life. Because, that whole fight with the people that are angry because I dislike the 9 to 5, stereotypical 9 to 5 culture. That 9 to 5 culture is stupid for me. As he said the other day, my 9 to 5 is going to be $15 to $20 an hour. I can't live off that for the rest of my life. I'm not making 30 plus. To really have a good life, you got to make for the life I want to have. You got to make at least $35 to $40 an hour. I'm not making that right now. It ain't happening. So I got to do what I can do to exceed, to make that happen without the struggle of it maybe not happening. That's where we're at right now. So with that said, I am going to continue grinding out the betting every day, and we're going to go with the flow. And once again, the channel is dead, but I'm going to fight the power. I'm not going to go and make a new channel. I'm going to just keep this channel. I'm going to just start from scratch. Let's think. I haven't talked about really topics. I haven't talked about anything interesting because of the fact I'm so busy with the other channel drama. By the way, You know, I felt bad for some reason this morning when I woke up and I started talking to somebody about the fact I can get this guy to, cost him his job because of stuff he says. And he doubled down on it. He actually said that he is not going to stop until I delete my YouTube channel. I stop sports betting. I do this and that. Just stupidity. So at this point, I don't care. What happens, happens. If he loses his job because he doesn't want to stop, then that's on him. I don't feel bad. I'm not going to say if I'm going to encourage or create that situation scenario for him, but I mean, that's just it. He's cooked. So we're going to just keep it moving. I don't really have interest because that conversation over there ain't going to help my channel. It's going to keep me at 30 people, 25 people when I do get the push um, that I need to, really grow. Next thing I'm going to say, as Puerto Rico is destroying up 14 points, but it's international, so they can always come back. Bahamas, at least. So I have a situation. My goal every day is $100 a day keeps the doctor away. Shout out to you, Fantastic Max. I don't. Here's the thing: if I did another channel, I wouldn't want to be involved with the. I wouldn't want to be involved with the business side of it, not the actual work. All I want to do is show up and talk. I'll do that for you, just show up and talk. But if I'm involved, then I want to do the business, like the structure of it, and then you just come on and talk, and then we share the revenue. But otherwise, I'll come to your channel and do some things, whatever makes sense for you. Ski, I don't know if you heard the beginning, but I'm going to be off of here at 9 o'clock. I gotta go to my game, but I'm gonna put the link up if you want to come up. I got time today. I look relaxed because today, just like all the other days, have been a day of positivity. I told this one individual, I'm like, dude, if you just stop, if we don't have if I don't have no negativity, then my life is good. I'm making a bag every day. I'm killing. But if I have negativity, my life is trash. And coincidentally enough, everything's going good. No negativity and everything is great. I'm just winning all over the place. I'm talking about winning like nobody's business. Like I don't remember the past 2 months winning this much. Just so much winning. It's just so much winning. Appreciate that, Ski. Now, once again, as I said before, this channel is cooked. But the good thing is I'm still me and I can still bring it back the right way. I got to focus on the longevity instead of the short term wins, meaning that I have to focus on the actual content and not on the trolls, not on the, nimbusos, not on the losers that I associate myself with. So, for example, okay, uh, what's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Nothing much, nothing much. So today was the first day of or not today, but Saturday or Friday was the first day of me putting my foot down, saying I'm a professional sports bettor again, doing what I did in Vegas for 3 years before going on four. I'm doing that, and I'm going to make it happen. And I pretty much made enough to cash out the last of the bill money. But then on Saturday, I got into another dispute, got my head cracked. I was down to $29. And it's crazy. This is a life turning moment for me. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest. This is gonna give, I don't care if it gives people content. I'm gonna just be honest. So I woke up and or yesterday, I actually went, or not yesterday, Saturday. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Friday, I got in the car Saturday night or Friday night because it was like 50% surge. And could have had a DUI checkpoint. And I'm like, okay, let me try to make some money here. So I get in the car and I did the first ride. It was this lady that was just kind of like, she wasn't rude, but she was kind of like, I don't want to talk to you, ninja. And she just took her home, done. Then no tip on that. And then the next person, I drove all the way to pick them up, and they were pulled over for DUI checkpoint. I guess they went to jail because they were nowhere to be found. So at that point, I made $19 and I had like 11 in my account, 10 in my account. So I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. I've I've been out for freaking 45 minutes. I made $19. It's surging. I'm not doing Lyft. I'm not doing Lyft. This is stupid. Let me stop panicking. I got a whole month to make $2,500. And that's what I did. I went home and I took pretty much the $29 I had accumulated from Lyft and money into my account. I knew I had more money I could go access. No big deal. And I went and what's crazy? That GoPro, I was resisting taking it back, not to bet with, but just to go. And my son really wants me to just get a good camera so I can record his games. But it keeps overheating after like 45 minutes. So I decided to not take that back. I'm like fighting the power because I paid all my stuff. I could take that camera back. I got a bankroll, keep going. But long story short, um, I went in the car to do Lyft and it was stupid. I made $19. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not doing Lyft no more. Deleted the app, went home, took that $29 and I turned it into um, $300 the first night. And then after that, I then turned it into, and then after that, I turned 300 into 1,000, and I've taken out 450, and then I turned the difference left over 550 or whatever. I just turned it into 2,000 today. So in a nutshell, I turned the $2,900 into $2,400 in like what Saturday morning or Friday night to today. So about what 2.5 days. So that was a wake up call from God because I literally said on Friday that I'm professionally sports betting. I'm not going to listen to nobody. If anybody wants to try to talk me out of it or do whatever, then they can go. Because when I was living in Vegas, I was doing it big. Nobody could say anything. Nobody had my number, and I was living the best life ever. So that's where we're at right now today. We're going all in now. In regards to that, what do you think?
Well, the way I think is this: people just need to allow people to live their life, and you gotta realize, like, you know, whenever a decision is made, some people will approve of it, some people will disapprove of it. As long as you have your purpose and you know why you're doing it, that's all that matters. Because no matter what you do, like you're the one that's got to live your life. Like, because me, I don't really approve of gambling, but who am I to say you shouldn't be doing that? You shouldn't be doing this. It's like, I'm not your dad. I'm not paying your bills. But what I learned from my own life is the decisions I make are my decisions. So, some people may say, why would you go to college? Why would you do this major? Some people said that, oh, that major's dumb. That major's stupid. No matter what they thought, I had my purpose. So it's like with you, some people's going to say gambling is stupid. But if that's your life, they can't stop you because they're nobodies. What they need to do is worry about themselves. As long as people worry about themselves, the world would be a better place. Because half the people that's trying to make decisions on your life, not putting money in your pocket, not putting money into your son's pocket, they're not contributing to your family. So it's like at the end of the day, they're just people with opinions, and a lot of them, they just are overprotective. But some people just need to realize you can't control someone else's life. People are free to do whatever they want to do, because we all made decisions that people may not approve of, such as maybe you shouldn't move out of town, maybe you shouldn't have went to this school, maybe you shouldn't have did this. But do people say, I mean, that's all I gotta say. Like, people need to realize, let people make their own decisions, unless you're gonna fully support this grown man, and none of y'all are, because half of y'all are brokies and y'all get no money, and you guys have no control in your own life. So that's why you guys try to come over here and control someone else's. Amen.
Yeah, I agree with you on all of that. I'll say, but to touch on what you pretty much just said here, this is an example of what you just said. What is just so to be honest, he said to be honest, Corey, gambling is second income. I like gambling options, but I have two full-time jobs. Shout out to Jeff in the building. That's the problem right there, Corey. You have 2 full-time jobs, not because you want to, but because you were told to. Now, of course, you might not be good at betting enough to, um, or buying and trading options, whatever, to do it full time. But here's the point: nobody woke up thinking I want to have 2 jobs to have a good living. When I'm sitting here making on average $5,000 to $6,000 a month, and I'm having easy way of doing it, which is just watch games. Now, mind you, this is the off season. Like my season stops the first week of January, okay? Because college football and NFL is over for the most part. So understand, my money is September. From September all the way to January is my money. From February, other than March Madness in March, all the way to like July is trash. Now, here's the situation: you were brainwashed into thinking you need to have 2 full-time jobs. But like she just said, you're gonna let me do me because it's working for me. And then you have a Trey who, the hater who I blocked for that profile picture. He said doing Lyft to cover your losses. This is what I mean by dummies. What losses? like think about this, Key. I don't have a line of credit to use now because I don't have my apartment is my apartment. My car is my car. My bike is my bike. Everything, I don't have nothing I can sell to cover losses. So if you think about it, that means that if I don't have nothing to sell or to be a degenerate and just, pretty much gamble away, then that means that if I take a loss, that was money that I made. And that's what these dummies don't understand, that it ain't a loss if you made the money that you're losing. So right now, for example, I'm ahead $2,400. So if I lose that $2,400, it ain't a loss. It's just going back to the medium or whatever, going back to the start because I made the money. So you see what I mean by you guys being stupid? That comment about doing Lyft to cover losses. What losses? 29. I made $20 doing Lyft and I stopped and said, I'm done. Now, keep in mind, I told y'all honestly that I had a bad argument that brought a lot of negativity and I got my hair cracked. Shout out to Pay to Play. I got my hair cracked. But back to the point, when all said and done, we are killing it. As long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. I haven't had my hair cut in forever because I was trying to be cheap and save money. But no, we're gonna just go all in. Like since we're doing streaming and sports betting full time, I gotta look good. So I gotta get it by any means possible for this to work. Now, with that said, Ski, now I know you said you wouldn't, bet or gamble, whatever. But there's opportunities that see the blacks. We're so uneducated with anything other than a 9 to 5 that we literally will sacrifice something we're great at to follow the order of the man in this country. Because, like, for example, I was talking to about the whole Stephen A. Smith. You saw that he said Lakers with a bunch of white guys ain't winning nothing. You saw that, right?
No, I haven't. But if you want to refresh, because I don't really follow that stuff. But if you want to refresh, you said Stephen A. Smith said what and why?
So Stephen A. Smith pretty much was going in on the Lakers trading or pretty much letting LeBron walk away, and he was saying that you're not winning a championship with a whole bunch of white guys on your team. It just ain't happening. With your starting lineup being white guys, and I believe in that. I think that's the truth, but people got offended, and I get it because if somebody said, "Oh my God, that's racist to say that having a hockey team with a bunch of blacks, you're not going to win a championship." I'm sorry, you're not winning a championship in hockey with a bunch of black guys. Even though we dominate any sport we get on, it's going to take
We'll
time.
dominate hockey.
I don't know about that. I'm going to actually put that. Let me put that up here real quick. I'm going to put that on the screen real quick. Stephen A. Smith's words.
When have you seen where the hell the Los Angeles Lakers think they going with a bunch of white dudes? Your 3 top players are white dudes? Really? This ain't golf. This ain't baseball. Hell, it ain't even soccer. What y'all think this is? It's basketball. In NBA history, when have you seen your 3 most prominent players on a basketball team all be white, and that takes you to the promised land. Somebody got to say it, so I'm saying it. This is basketball. I'm not complaining. I'm simply making the point. The Los Angeles Lakers, you ain't going anywhere being led by 3 white dudes in today's generation of basketball. I'm letting you know right now, it ain't happening. And Luka's a bad brother. And Austin Reeves is no scrub. And they both have earned what they have earned. And then with LeBron James or some other brothers, I get. But those two and Walker Kessler, you ain't scaring anybody with that. And Rob Pelinka has done made this white dude central. No wonder LeBron James walked out the door.
So back to the point of the situation. That's just reality. And the problem you face in this country, Jerome, you're absolutely right. We would dominate, but we got to have time. But the point of the matter is this. We are not real in this country no more. We can't be real about stuff. We know right now, if you get 5 black guys, hockey players, they ain't winning nothing. It's a white sport, just like baseball.
I disagree, but keep going.
But you got no. Just think about it. It ain't never happened. And yes,
we killed in baseball. That's why they started importing the Dominicans.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. I'm talking about black Americans. Right now, we're not dominating baseball. We have like one steroid full field guy who literally hits home runs. But other than that, you ain't got no baseball team with a bunch of black dudes. They're international blacks. Then you got the Hispanics, and then you have white guys. That's just what it is, mainly because we don't like baseball all like that. And when we do have the baseball player who goes all in, black guy, he dominates. Like in my school, the best baseball player was a black guy. All the schools, really. But we don't do it enough. We go for football.
Well, baseball is a super racist sport. I heard stories. You gotta realize, like the story of Kurt Flood. He's the reason why a lot of athletes can negotiate their pay, and he was a baseball player, a black baseball player. So it's like you gotta realize there's just some realms like baseball where it's super, super racist. And people, it deters a lot of blacks.
That makes sense. I mean, but it gets to a point though, we gotta okay. The race
you do have a point though, because it's like due to all that racism and stuff like that, you're not gonna see a full black team. So you do have a point there. So
I mean, but you gotta look at basketball and then even football. Stephen Smith said the thing out loud. If you had to pick between a team with white guys and a team with black guys, you're picking the black guys with football and basketball. Even if you don't know what the guys can do, you would never take any white guys over the black guy. If you don't know if they're the same body, same everything, just skin color is different, you're taking all black dudes. In football, all black dudes. That's just what it is.
Well,
same with hockey. Who would you, if your life depended on you winning this game to win $1 million, and you had like 20 players, and you could pick, pretty much 10 white players or a team of 10 black players. Right now, who are you picking?
I'm picking the 10 black because I ride or die.
You're out of your mind. So you're not getting $1 million.
Well, the whole thing is you got to realize with sports, you can't tell who's going to win at the beginning. You can only tell at the end.
No, because there's little things we don't do. Like we want our teeth. So we're not going to duke it out and fight for nothing. They actually fight and they're allowed to fight for a minute. We
have years. We have past histories. We have histories that kind of fuel us. They're just doing it for the fun of it. But when a black hockey player punch a white hockey player, there is the ancestors behind that punch.
True. But could you imagine if we were in hockey? We would literally give the case of the beats every single freaking. We would just it would be if they wouldn't have it. They would have to we would go to jail. We would kill people. You realize black guy beating up like it would be a free for all fight. Nobody would want to go against us because we would the black guy would dominate and destroy that white guy. It wouldn't even.
You mean everybody in the stands gonna come on the ice?
They're going to have to because that's the only way you're going to stop the black guy. The black guy is going to be out of control, just dominating. That's just what it is. I mean, it ain't no point of come on, think about it. You're telling me the black guy is going to lose to a white guy hockey fight unless he's like me, my size, going against a 50-pound guy. And I made that argument, by the way. Shout out to Don and Eli. Shout out to Jerome P. J Media, Pay to Play. Shout out to y'all. I made that argument about the hockey rate.
What about Deal?
Shout out to Deal. Aiden didn't have Aiden. I took him to the hockey rink one time, and I'm like, dude, do you really want to play hockey? Because I mean, if you want to play hockey, I got you. But I'm not spending $500 on this hockey stick and shoes, and you don't play. You decide not to play tomorrow. I'm like, if you're doing this, you're committing to practicing for at least a year. And then he, of course, changed his mind fast. But my thing is, yeah, black guys, we don't have hockey rinks, and we don't like cold. Do you like cold?
Man, I love the cold. I like extreme weathers.
Yeah, I mean, most black guys don't mess with cold, man. It's too much. By the way, Jeff, if you're still there, um, reach out. I forget to call y'all. Just reach out, and then we can set up a time, and I'll walk you through it. It's easy with the hedging and all of that I do.
See, Jay Media got a point because with hockey players, like think about the hockey wife versus the basketball wife.
You said the hockey what? I mean,
The hockey wife and the basketball wife and the football wife.
oh, that's torture. The hockey wife is freaking dusty. She's freaking she's like Boo Boo Kitty. Like she's like, that fat chick.
She got that diesel truck missing teeth.
Yeah, she looks like somebody's chick. Like I ain't gonna say no names. We just keep it like that's what they look like. They're freaking lunatics.
Exactly.
No, actually, no, I take it back. They're not like that because that's a liberal looking person. Liberals be looking like weirdos. They got like colorful hair, piercings all over.
They got that wife that's gonna fight with the bandage underneath the eye. Talking about you want to fight my husband.
Yep. But the hockey wives, they're conservative. They're like, this is Trump country. Like they're like freaking, they hate blacks. They literally like act like they're the ish, and they be like freaking fat and nasty and gross. And it's like, dude, you're not the ish. You're super basic. You got no body. You built like a Klondike bar. And the thing is, they be doing that, and they be thinking they're. I just don't understand it, man. It's craziness because they be thinking that they're doing something. I'm like, dude, you don't sit down and relax. You're not that guy. You're just not that.
Yeah. They're the type to yell at the Outback waiter server.
Yep. You know who my husband is? We shouldn't have to wait for a table. My husband plays on the Toronto, what are they, Canucks or
Maple Leafs?
Maple Leafs. I think The Rock called them the Canucks. But yeah, like freaking hold on. You watch hockey?
I mean, not really. But
yeah, I think all the racist people, like that's the sport you go to. If you're a racist, that's your like go to. Like everybody has
not really. They're not really racist. They're just more so in their own world. It's like, that's where they go when they want a peace of mind. They don't have to worry about, black people twerking in the stands. They got white people getting drunk in the stands. That's where the white people be fighting. Just like baseball. Like hockey, they be fighting inside the stands too, spilling beer. So
yeah, what's crazy? I got to keep it both ways. I go in on the blacks, let me go in on the whites. So pretty much, we saw shout out to Payet going in. We saw in the paper it was a big fight at the country club. Like it's like called Landfall. It's called Landfall. It was a big fight to where the whites were going crazy. So long story short, the whites, I guess it was a dispute, and they decided to let me see. Landfall, Wilmington fight. Yeah, they decided to yeah, here we go right here. So the whites let's see if they actually show the scene. Let's see what
I wish there was an easy way to control that.
But yeah, they had a big fight with the whites because only whites live in that community. And long story short, they had to have the cops come, and they said they're going to discipline everybody involved. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is not ever. This never happens. That's why I hit the paper, because like the whites don't be fighting like that. It's like a crazy, like it's a big deal because out there they just don't fight. They just be minding their business, chilling. Like that's something that sadly the blacks we do. We be the ones fighting. But yeah, they're giving a case of the beats all night. They were drunk, and long story short, you just don't have that around, the white rich people that went to.
They do. They got that neighbor war, Hatfield, McCoy's. It just doesn't make the news, man. So
Oh crap! I forgot the. Well, let me play that. Let me go back.
Fight in the Landfall neighborhood. We are working to learn more about a large fight in the Landfall neighborhood that ended with a security guard being assaulted. This apparently happened Friday night at the Country Club of Landfall during its fireworks show. In a statement, the Country Club said the event involved guests, members, and staff. They are conducting an internal investigation and working with law enforcement agencies to identify those involved and say they are pursuing justice to the quote, fullest extent possible. The statement goes on to say the Country Club of Landfall and the Landfall Council of Associations are both deeply disturbed by the actions that occurred on July 3rd. We're committed to the safety of our staff and members and do not condone what took place, end quote. We are trying to confirm more details about who was involved, how many people were involved, and if anyone has been arrested or charged. We've reached out to Wilmington Police but have not heard back at this time.
So sadly, from what I was told, sadly, what I was told was there was a group of black kids from one of the houses that were there, and they were like, "Guys, I'm sorry, man. I didn't even set that up. I'm sorry." But in the comment section, they're saying there was a group of black kids that were being racially treated, like, unjustly racist, treatment. And long story short, they decided one of the people that rock out with the blacks, they decided to defend the honor, which they should. You shouldn't be able to be racist, and it caused a big spat to where it was black fatigue, and you had the whites that rock with the blacks fighting against the racist whites that got flags on their car. They got the flagpole on the back of their truck bed and all that. And that's what caused the fight, which is why they tried not to show the video, because they didn't want the video to show blacks just acting crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And, sadly, I hope that, I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's like the blacks, or do you think it was, what do you think about that?
So what is your question exactly? Do I think it's the blacks? The blacks about what?
Black fatigue, like the situation happened because we were just literally just out of control, going crazy.
I think it's white fatigue, really, because it's just like, you know, you gotta realize some people have enough, and then it's like when you're in a situation, because this is what I try to tell all my black people. I know you guys like white people and all, but you guys can't be going out there if it's too deep and it's 30 of them. Because, when it's too deep, 30 of them, they can change their narrative. So it's like, I don't know why those black people felt like to go out there. They should have just went somewhere else where there was more black people. But like, all I gotta say is for those black people, that's what they get. And not saying that's what they get like they deserve it, but it's like you guys still don't learn. Like, they could have lynched them, could have kidnapped them, could have killed them. But no, I want to go see white people fireworks. I want to go over there with the white people. I'm like, you going to be on the end of the firework. They going to light that firework. Your black ass going to be in the sky blowing up with the firework. But no, they didn't want to listen to Ski. They didn't want to listen to Ski. They said, I'm going to go over to motherfucking Trent. I'm going to hang out with Trent. Trent going to show me some fireworks. They lucky that they ain't get a firework popped in their mouth. But no, black fatigue.
I mean, I think that. By the way, guys, I got to show this video real quick, guys. This video this movie right here. I watched the movie and it made me feel. I ain't gonna lie, it made me feel nasty inside. I ain't gonna lie, Ski. It made me feel happy inside, because it made me feel nasty because I was happy with this movie. So they banned this movie because they call it racist, because they're pretty much calling out what's happening to Americans. But it's considered took place in Europe, but it's happening in America. It starts off with this woman, and by the way, I retweeted it because they're trying to ban this movie, and they banned it from a bunch of different countries because they don't want people to see the truth. But pretty much, a woman was walking in the park. It's called Citizen Vigilante. A woman was walking in the park. Did you hear about this movie, Ski?
No, no. I've been living underneath a rock for a very long time.
Okay, so by the way, I didn't have barbecue, but I had some good food because I actually learned to just go buy the canned greens and they're fire, and I buy like the baked beans, and I had like the turkey from Costco, and I've been stuffing my mouth. But here's the situation: this is called Citizen Vigilante, and it starts off with a woman who was walking in the park with her kid, and this is a real situation that's happening. The woman is walking in the park, and a guy just walks up on him and or her and her kid and just stabs her in the neck, and bled out, and the kid is over her like crying like mom, no mom, mom, and pretty much they cut to now this guy who's like a vigilante. He goes around like ending the lives of all the criminals, people that do stuff like this. So he found that guy and took his life. Then there was another situation where a girl got raped, gang raped by like six people, and she was like begging and pleading, and they destroyed her. And he showed up to her house and he was like, "Hey, do you want justice?" And the dad was like, "Leave us alone. We don't want, he thought it was a news reporter. He's like, "Leave us alone. We're good." And the daughter was like, "Yes, I want justice." So he went and tracked down the guys who happened to be um, Muslim. And the dad straight up said in the movie that she shouldn't have been out without the scarf on, looking, like she made the kids feel like um, that she wanted it, pretty much. Like she wanted it because she was like dressed inappropriately. And then the daughter even said that she got what she deserved because she decided to um be out there like wilding out, like being out there like, looking. So long story short, that like inside of this part of this movie is he goes and tracks them all down, or he goes to this house and he like one by one executes them. And it's like it's amazing because it ain't about them being Muslim or anything. It's the fact that this is a culture of a lot of people. And the fact that he's like, and this is like they're trying to keep ban it from different countries because they don't want people to like think, you know what? Why don't I do this? Why don't I go around and take the lives of these criminals? Because why should you exist? Like if you were literally on video ending the life of somebody, we know you did it. Why do you get to exist? Why not just take him to the back and take his life and call it a day? Like why are we giving him freedom? You tell me. Why do we give these people freedom?
Well, the main reason is you don't know the whole story. You just see what's on camera. And you gotta realize when somebody does things to someone else, there's a purpose behind it. So if you don't understand the purpose, how can you justify your action?
Um, I think that um I just think I don't know. I can't really. It's hard to respond to that. I just think
I
that
know, right?
yeah. If you take somebody's life, then whatever you did should happen to you. So I think if you go out there and you grape, um, a innocent woman, or whatever, a man, you should get whatever you did should happen to you. Because you got those YNs. The dude, literally, this nincompoop, this peon, he goes to jail, and
So
I
so
mean,
so
he's in
I do
jail.
have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say, for example, I'm gonna give you a metaphor. Let's say if a person was messing with someone's job and they got them fired, right?
Yeah.
And this person wasn't doing anything like heinous or bad. But then you got this other person that claims to be an upstanding citizen, and they make handicap jokes, they make racial jokes, they make jokes about stroke victims and things like that. And they work for, like, let's say,
Hold on. What kind of
a part.
stroke?
I'm just saying that. Let's
You
say
talking about black guy stroking
no, no,
like
no,
a
no, no,
chick?
no, no. I'm talking about.
'Cause that is
Let's
vicious.
say let's say there's like a bald gentleman making
Yeah.
these heinous disabled jokes, handicap jokes, racial jokes, and harassing people on the internet. And they work for, like, say the government, where they gotta uphold ethics, right?
Yeah.
And let's say if somebody filled out that ethics report and they time stamped and showed the videos of them making AI thumbnails, AI mugshots of black people, and the ethics department says to him, hey, we got wind of your YouTube channel, and you know, you can't be upholding yourself when you're representing the state of Pennsylvania. Like, my thing is, he got a delivery driver fired. Now, what happens if human resources says, you know, they say that your behavior on the internet, which is completely derogatory, disrespectful, and they got fired. Do you think that would be just?
It depends. I think we're kind of like I think that situation we're kind of cooked because that situation is cooked because I'm be straight to it. He actually did a video that I guess he looked kind of scared, like responding to it, but he tried to put up a big show.
Well, the whole thing is this, though, it doesn't matter if he's scared because I'm gonna fill it out, and I'm gonna get the timestamps, and then I'm gonna put in the video, and then the ethics department is gonna go to him and say, you claim to be Marine, you supposed to be uphanding these, this is no different than a police officer. Not saying he's a police officer, but like, let's say if a police officer was saying, "Oh, you're a stroke victim and you're disabled, and I'm gonna put false crimes on you." So at the end of the day, I'm filling out that fucking form, and Baldy, your days are gonna be numbered because I'm gonna tell them they need to have a conversation with you. And then you're over here openly harassing people on YouTube channels like you don't have a family and a Miss Big Show to go home with. So all I gotta say is, regardless or not, you better start looking for new jobs.
That's the crazy thing about it. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand who would be that bold to literally, like, continue doing it. Like, I literally gave him. I'm like, today I was like, I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, you was just flying the radar because somebody told me to just do it, not you. It was somebody else told me to just do it. They're like,
Thank you.
why do you keep being nice? Like they ain't nice to you. They don't care about your job. They don't care about your life. Why you keep being nice? And I said to myself, I said, you're right. Why am I being nice? I'm just
Thank you.
always thinking about other people and not, myself. So now it's to the point that I'm seriously considering.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I could give you the timestamps and I'll give you the link of the video. I'm gonna send it over to you no later than Friday.
I
And then
appreciate
you
it. I
gonna
just didn't
fill
want to
out.
bother with all that. The main one
Well,
is
well,
that
the whole
short.
thing is, I seen the live earlier today. He said something about $10,000 teeth appointment, handicapped stroke victim, and my girlfriend said, how many people got to pay how much money to look normal again? And you're supposed to be part of the military where people get their face blown off, and these people want stem cell research to be human again. And you claim to work for the state of Pennsylvania, and you're doing these dumb, like, those are not even jokes. And when you have to answer to people and they say that your ethics is not upholding, and you're like, you're doubling down on it, like you're not going to get in trouble. And I'm telling you, even if Dennis doesn't fill it out by Friday, I'm gonna fill it out. And I'm gonna tell him to have a conversation with you because you want to make mugshots with AI, and you
That's
want to
the
call
craziest
people
thing.
horse face, and you want to take his nephew, and they're gonna, like, your behavior is is just disgusting. It's just disgusting. So, Mister, your bottom teeth is lowercase. You got lowercase bottom teeth. So, you keep on wanna stutter, and I just don't get it because Cali Girl doesn't deserve this, and you put her mother out there. So it doesn't matter what Holly did or anyone else did. You are a leader, and you're not acting as such. And it's just, you could have been doing something better with your life, but you chose to do something negative, and now you're scared. And I'm telling you, Mr. Baldy or whatever, that form will get filled out by Saturday. So
Yeah, I was just sitting there.
you better start going on Indeed and looking for new jobs, because when you have that conversation will be very, very awkward when they say, "We got wind of your YouTube channel and you're wearing a state of Pennsylvania polo." I'm sorry, man, but
I
yeah,
don't
it's not.
understand. I don't understand. Answer this question for me. Like, you would think like that you would walk away from the situation because I didn't look like I seriously wanted to do that. You would think you would just stop and just say, you know what? Let's just move on. But he doubled down and literally said for him to stop, I have to like delete my
That's
sports book.
harassment.
Yeah, literally. I have to delete the sports book. I have to delete my YouTube channel. I have to do this. I have to do that. It's craziness, man.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't want to hold you up, but all I gotta say is that's just wild though. And if anyone else wants to know, it's called the Pennsylvania Ethics Complaint for Pennsylvania employees. So I mean, once again, for all you guys that want to root the guy on, Scott Hall, and all of y'all want to root him on, y'all better help him get a new job, because you guys are rooting him on like this is funny. I don't know what's funny about people having health ailments and disabilities and like that. That's not funny. There's some jokes that are funny, but you don't joke on things like what people can't change or a serious situation. So all you guys can up them up from your Forever Burtons, from Royce. I'm very disappointed in you. Like I just don't know, man. I just don't know. But I'm gonna let you go to get back to your little basketball game.
Yeah, no, I'm about to head there now. So the reason why I was kind of like off because we got like we're doing a lot of like hedging, and I'm just gonna show y'all just a little bit to end this live stream. Just know what we're doing. I'm gonna just I can't even do the math or how much um you know winning this is, but this is like what I got going on right now. I got this right here. They're up by 8. I took this when they were up by they're down by 1. I mean up by 1 because I had a feeling with like 2 minutes or a minute and a half left they were gonna cover. So we got that. We hedged plus 10 because I had the chance to get that. So we got the plus 10 on the same game. Then we got under on this game 160 that hit for 120 to 100. This is all while I'm on stream talking to you, by the way. We got 7 on that same game, and if that does not hit because that other team scores a layup for no reason, it's only like 20 seconds or 16 seconds left. If they don't score, then I'm that's $200. But if they score, it doesn't matter. I got the 7 and I got the 10 right here. Then I got the 1 either way. This is guaranteed lock. 16 seconds left, guaranteed. So we got that going on. Then we got Deportes. They're up by 8. Game over. That's a winner. Then we got Puerto Rico. I took that. They're up 15 points, 2.5 minutes left. I got 6. That's 150. Then I took this was a hedge. They were going under, and I took the under like 139, but I got scared because they were like starting to score. So I took the over to hedge it, which I never do I would have got middled by a half a point if it hit 140. I would have lost like this, but I would have pushed on this. But this is just a push. But these are all winners. This is what I do. Now, of course, let's see if they scored. Nope, they missed. They're about to run the clock out. Actually, hold on. Did they foul? Yeah, I think they fouled. So that's going to be the 10 is going to push. The 10 is going to push. I'll wait until that's over and leave y'all to be because I want y'all to just know this ain't a fluke. This is what I do. This is my living right here. So that 10 is going to push because he's going to hit both of these foul shots more than likely. Hopefully he misses one. I doubt it. I'm watching it right now. If you have Fanatics, you can actually watch the international games on your phone. Okay, so it's going to push unless they come down and jack up a 3, which I doubt they're going to, jack up a layup, which they're not. They're about to just pass the ball in and game over. So pretty much that's what I do all day. That's just what I do all day. Okay. And it's funny because this is my life and I try to show y'all what I do. And instead of y'all listening, shout out to Ski. Appreciate you, man. Instead of you guys, shout out to Maverick. Instead of you guys like wanting to learn, you guys are busy, just hating and just allowing people to keep you from the bag. And you don't want to be kept from the bag, man. Why keep yourself from the bag? Puerto Rico is up by 19. This over, under. So we're cooking right now, guys. It's confusing. How the heck is it? Let's see. Push. Win. 1,500. All right, let's see which bets we got open still. Yeah, I got to do the math on that, figure that out. Should be up more than that in the account. Let's see. Settled. Sorry, guys, I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to do this math real quick. Let's see. That's 100, 200, 150. Hold on. 50. 150. 200. 250. Oh, that makes sense. 250. Okay, that makes sense. So once I get that WNBA back, that'd be 188, and then so that'd be $300. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so that put me at like 19 in this account. So we're good to go. All right. All right. Well, guys, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Interesting CPU. Appreciate that. Shout to Screen Time. Guys, I was literally doing the bets while I was on live stream with y'all, and we were still crushing. So this ain't a fluke, guys. Like, this is my job. This is what we do. But with that said, guys, I got to go to my game. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. No, we keep it at $50. Our goal is to make $200 a day. Keep the doctor away. We just have days that we just exceed that. Like today, the past 3 days have been like 700 a day, 800 a day, damn near. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. That's all I got. See y'all soon. Peace.